won every single one. NaVi, look, they went down into the crapper. Let's not beat around the bush here. They went down into the crapper. They're looking to crawl out of it.
I think the best way of putting it is that NaVi were a team that looked so strong and are now significantly at their weakest, whereas Secret were a team who looked weak and are now looking at their strongest and kicking things off. For the ban phase, we're going to be going with a Monty, which is, I believe, not something that was banned last time they came here.
Yeah, but it's a pack bull ban right there, dead on. The pack bull from Secret, he's the UK guy who's joined the roster, and he's been really helping out, come up through the UK scene, and look, he's been doing great. Yeah, in fact, it was a Thatcher ban last time from NaVi. Secret will take care of that nicely. And Wamai to follow up. Wamai is one of Secret's, actually, interestingly enough, not in Secret's top 5 bans, but they did ban it just the other day against Chaos. So very standard stuff here. And the Clash ban as well. NaVi are so sick of watching Packball destroy on these shields.
I mean, obviously, given the fact that he came from the UK scene, same as a number of the players on NaVi, they're all too aware of how this man plays. He didn't have to come to Secret for them to know all of that. And it's actually kind of a good thing that Secret got in the Wamai ban, since that's something that NaVi never really liked to let up. So they kind of got 2 bans to their side, I think.
Yeah, indeed. But let's have a look over at the lineups for this basement objective. No shields actually brought to the table, potentially one on the smoke, but leaning into that Melusi, the Maestro. Legion's an interesting 6 pick. I guess the Kaid may be deemed as not as useful thanks to that Maverick that's present, but I would have thought it'd be pretty useful. Remember that Mirror is also still in play here, but NaVi's elected not to use it. Mirror can be really powerful on this basement objective, especially when coupled with a Bandit or a Mute or a Kaid, something to deny them from being opened up by the Habanas. Let's also remember that every single hard breacher is on the table. You've got your Ace, you've got your Hibana, your Thermite, and your Maverick. So I do find it interesting that Secret is choosing to bring the Hibana and the Maverick, particularly over that Ace, which we've seen a lot.
I think something also that's really important to note here is NaVi are obviously starting on defense, and this is going to work out very much in their favor. NaVi are a team who have struggled so much on the attack so far that in stage 2, they have taken a grand total of 5 attacking rounds. So being able to start on the side where they feel more comfortable is huge, and I like this positioning from Saves.
That is super aggressive. Surely Packball drones this. This is freest kill of their lives if they drone this. There's no way they don't drone this. Shot, you surely just saw it. They did. Yeah. There's no way he got off that drone. Okay, Packball's live droning for him. Come on, surely. There you go. Is there a suppressor on that gun? All right, Shate.
We're not in APAC. You're not allowed suppressors.
That's actually copyrighted APAC only.
Exactly. And we actually saw a couple of players elsewhere on this same floor, which again it kind of ties into that aggressive NaVi style, right? You know, they're not all playing around on the site. Likely they will move back at some point if they survive long enough to get there. But it is one of the things that NaVi have really been exhibiting so far in this stage is the aggression.
In fact, it's in some ways the only thing NaVi have had going for them. Mostly it's been actually Joe, who's been really aggressive, in particular the game on Clubhouse against G2. Funnily enough, say his name and he'll appear. I was going to mention that it's unlikely he'll find early picks when he's playing that Maestro and Operator, much more likely to be seen on the site. But we actually had 2 NaVi players aggressive on the staircases. Doki was noted as well on the freezer stairs. And well, not only is that a few drones taken out, we can see from Secret, they've only got 2 on Hive, 1 on Packball and 1 on Shate remaining, plus Prano's one, which is already in the field. But also evening up the man count 4 apiece.
Ooh, Shate taking a bit of damage there through the meeting hatch. And also note the fact that we're over halfway through the round, and Team Secret, now they've done the business of ensuring that that first floor has been cleared out. They actually have to begin to move down now. Looked like he was getting ready to shoot to open the freezer hatch, which I believe has already been opened. But Secret just deciding which way down to go. Notice also the laundry hatch is soft as well, so plenty of opportunities here. It's just time that's the issue.
Draven looking to push down Freezer. Still has 2 nades in the pocket. No drones to speak of. You may well use a Gemini for info gathering. I actually haven't seen much of that at all from Draven so far this round. 30 seconds left. NaVi playing patient. The Gemini through. That gives a bit of info, but they're coming down to the execute. Secret might not have as much ground as they would like.
In goes the flash. Draven manages to miss that. And there's an impact kill onto Packball, so they got rid of their British countrymen that they were so afraid of before, but that will be a nade going back onto NaVi. Time is running out. Doki's going to be the one getting 2 kills. Could it be 3? No, it can't. He gets downed in the process, but NaVi still managed to pull things through as Kendrew gets the last kill.
A very back and forth end of round there, but that's what happens when you don't have many solid avenues onto the bomb site. You're funneling through these choke points with not very long left on the round. And I think, in particular for Secret, what made them really struggle is that lack of information gathering near the end round. We saw a Gemini go forth into Freezer to spot out the player, hiding behind those boxes there. There were a few nades left, and Secret, had they had info in a position where they could just immediately throw nades and util off the back of that, perhaps that would have been a bit more slanted their side. But I do find it interesting that despite that really early pick for them, for Secret, the round managed to slip the other direction. I think that goes to show that NaVi, really good drone denial in the early round, players aggressive on staircases, unpunished and allowed to not only shoot drones, but also take out players. I believe it was Draven, finished off very early in that round. We'll see as the round continues, as the game continues, whether Secret can bite back. I'm interested, Gio, what do you reckon about this matchup? Do you think Secret's got this? I feel like that's the common opinion right now.
I'm pretty sure I put Secret on my prediction. I have to say I'm kind of worried about NaVi, and I was one of, you know, their big kind of proponents going into this stage. I was thinking, all right, they've made these interesting roster changes. I think there's a lot of potential here. And what it looks like has happened with NaVi over the course of the last couple of weeks is a breakdown in communication and coordination. It's not anything to do with skill. It's to do with there being 2 halves of this team doing different things. And so far, obviously, 1 round is a bit, it's not that much to go by. So far, it looks like they're a bit more on the same page. Today, if they can keep this up, as I mentioned before or alluded to before, I think their attacking rounds are going to be the most telling. But I don't think all hope is lost for NaVi. I just think that after nearly making it to the major last time, it's been a disappointing run in Stage 2.
For Secret, looking to take control of the closet. Take control of Master, more like, and breach into closet. Blow was getting aggressive there, just teasing it out. He didn't manage to take down Chatte's drone. Was that a default camera? What was that piece of util there? It must have been a black eye. Like this impact grenade prepped from Joe. It's interesting to see him playing a much more utility-heavy position, much more anchor-centric, where he can't play as aggressively, because particularly in that, I believe it was the G2 game on Clubhouse, he was just peeking every window. I feel like he didn't survive past the 30 seconds in the round. Just constantly he was going for these aggressive peaks.
This is a really nice black eye. I actually really like this. There's so much information that's going to be provided over to NaVi. As for Joe playing on the Maestro, it feels like when you give something to a child to sleep, it's like you can't have Joe running around doing crazy things if he's on F3 armor. You know what I mean? It's like, slow down.
Time down.
Yeah.
Chuck a lead on him.
Yeah, maybe so. Well, Secret going to attempt to get open the game's room wall, but of course with Joe right behind, he can try for the impact trick, but those holes are still going to be made. Now he's just going to be looking for some of those players who may be still out on the balcony looking to push through. In the meantime, Blur gets taken down. That's one of those other really aggressive players on the Melusi that you would ideally want to be holding onto trophy.
A failed impact trick is punished from Joe, really struggling in that role he's been designated. Kendrew's got a really nice position here in Attic, but Secret are slowly and steadily gaining control of the elements that they require. Joe's been forced back into this dark corner. A nade would be ideal to flush him out. Prano's actually trying to contest Attic, but it'll be very difficult for him to flush out Kendrew, especially as the round is starting to come to its end. Wow, that's a great nade, exactly what Draven needed.
This could be a really good opening for Team Secret, who still have all 5 players on the board, and they're going up against such a disadvantaged NaVi. Cooking this nade is Packball just to throw straight into games, while Shate gets a kill onto saves. Everything looking very good. Hive, he has been down, but there's still the advantage. Doki gets a kill, but Secret, who were going in for the plant, didn't even need to finish it, as they very cleanly take that round.
3 separate picks from Secret in the early to mid rounds really helped them out there. The first one was, as you mentioned, as it was happening, Packball found 1 kill onto Blur. Now, I didn't quite see where Blur was and where Packball managed to catch him out, but I have to assume it was around Trophy, because we saw very early in the round, Blur was peeking that quite aggressively, and Packball was nearby. For me, the linchpin of that round was how quickly Secret was able to breach onto the closet wall. In particular, that hinged on Joe failing that impact trick. You'll notice the first one, this smacked him right bang in the face. It hit the bars, and he actually took damage for it. The second one went through, but it didn't land on the right part of the fan. I admit, I've actually given a crack at this impact trick. It's much more difficult than it looks. Like, you think it's really easy when you watch these pros do it, but you've got to hit the right spot on the fan. Otherwise, that explosion will not destroy that hard breach.
That's
and
why.
So, look, I feel for Joe here.
I was gonna say that's why whenever I'm playing here, I don't take that job. No, I can't do it.
Well, I'm sure that's what Joe would like to say as well. But come on, mate. Like, he's clearly been, as we said, chained down to the what's the word? The chained down to the cradle.
Is that a
baby
phrase?
Would be. I don't know. Not really.
That sounds like something that the police would get involved about. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, honestly, if Joe kept playing the way he had been in the previous playdays, I think the police would need to get involved.
Ouch. All right. Well, that's a bit of a sore spot, and hopefully Joe will be able to fix what happened last time. I'm interested here with Doki. Is he going to hang around here in meeting and hope to catch someone out? Because last time NaVi started very close to the site. Everyone was really around that same area, no one off on any kind of roam, and they mentioned it on the pre-game that Doki plays a bit more of an anchor Jaeger, if you can even call it that. He will retreat to the site fairly quickly, but I'm really interested in this roam that he's going for.
We'll keep an eye on him in the mid to late round, but as for the bomb site, and the main difference here for NaVi is actually bringing some active wall denial utility. Rather than just relying on those impacts from Joe, we have saves now with the Kaid. Now, Thatcher banned and Kali not utilized means it's actually very difficult to get rid of these electric claws. With them, if it was a bandit battery or a mute jammer, Maverick would basically know where it has to be placed and just be able to make a tiny little hole. But you might even see an impact trick. I think that's what the go is here from saves. He's got 2 in the pocket, and he knows that they're using the Hibana. Now, if you hear it, the ex-Kairos be shot onto the wall, he can throw down that electric claw and actually trick it. That's what's about to happen here if he hears it.
It's also really interesting.
He didn't hear it. Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a shame.
That's another really quick opening of the wall there. I was going to note how they've already reinforced off Attic. That's what Kendrew was doing. But once again, Joe is going to have a lot of pressure on himself as he has to bear in mind... Ooh, okay, narrowly missing the flash. He has to bear in mind that obviously Hype is right outside and he got caught out before, but it will be Hype who's going down. Can Joe get the second? Yes, he secures it onto Draven, and now suddenly the sides are switched as this time round, NaVi are the one with still 5 men standing. He pushes forward. Can he get the next kill? He scares off his adversary as Shatter's going to be moving all the way around into Trophy, looking to see what he can get through the door.
Well, Joe says, look, I might not be able to impact trick, but I know how to hold down left click and tap some heads. Sometimes that does sway around. We're looking at a very difficult position for Secret to claw themselves back. Prano trying to solo Attic. Packball just looking for something desperately from Big Window, but Shate is about to find an angry Italian around this corner, and he gets shut down. Joe's found 3 in this round, and Packball and Prano have got to pick up the pieces.
Coming in from very different sides here. Rhino's just getting ready on the kid's window, and there's the smoke to deter any of those attackers, as of course, as you mentioned, it was Packball on the big window, and it's really going to push him back and prevent him from moving in. He's, of course, carrying the diffuser, but there's only 10 seconds left, and they have to jump in somehow, but Kendrew is ready and waiting. Should he come in through kids? Looks like he's actually preparing to go through Attic, but he gets caught out straight away. NaVi take another round for themselves.
Yeah, it goes to show sometimes all you need is an angry Italian with an LMG to just start forcing the issue. Oh, you got that breach open? What? We misheard our Kaid trick. We failed the impact trick. No matter, I'm just gonna go brrr.
I have to say, I really like it because it seems like it's an instance in which they've managed to kind of utilize Joe's aggression and control it. You know, like in movies where they try and teach superheroes and stuff how to control their power and things like that. That's what it feels like. It's like, okay, you're not going off doing like random crazy things. You're staying in our supervision. We can keep an eye on you here, but you can also do what you're really good at.
Yeah, that's one of the great things about being a good fragger in this game. Just having good aim and knowing when to peek and having good mechanics and good game sense. Even if you're in a disadvantageous position, sometimes you will win your ones. And that happened to Joe just then. He won 2 1v1s. And then the final kill onto Shate, admittedly, I think he had the advantage in that scenario because he was in an off position and Shate didn't have info. So, yeah, well, it goes to show if Na'Vi fall behind in terms of the technical prowess, if they can't impact trick, if they fail their Kaid trick, if they don't succeed in wall denial, sometimes you can frag out. And that's the onus is on Secret to be able to counter that because that is counterable. And it's not like, oh, well, Secret were the better players, but Na'Vi, just fragged out. Well, Secret could punish that, but they weren't prepared to.
The question is, are they going to be prepared to do it on this round as NaVi now return to the site that they won quite easily on the first round, as Secret have an entirely different approach. So it looks like they're preparing to come in through construction. Oh, no. There's the sound of the Candelas, and there's also the vision of Shate going straight down. He should be able to be rezzed by some of his teammates, but a very aggressive start from Secret doesn't pay off.
But what has been good ground for Secret is destroying that deployable shield in which Doki plays on elbow. Doki actually used an early gas. I think that was the right move. It slowed down Secret. Na'Vi trying to get aggressive. Well, that's a good C4, but smartly, Secret is playing very passive now. They know time is on their side, and they've just wasted 2 gases and a C4 from Na'Vi.
Really good situation to be in, sending down 2 of those drones to keep an eye on Doki, who's going to retreat and likely put... Oh, nope. Not quite actually. He's decided to change his mind. He's not quite satisfied from the bloodbath that has so far, well, been so close to taking place, I suppose, a couple of times. Hype just peeking on down the tower stairs. He has Prano nearby for support, and Saves was present there before. Whether he still is now, I'm not entirely sure, but this does give room for Secret to worry about other parts of the map and other objectives, since, as you say, James, they have so much time.
But it is slipping away, and Packball will get to work on the meeting hatch, as it was Electroclaw. Hive had to bypass that. He's actually using his X-Kairos elsewhere, starting to poke and prod this front side. Lots of barricades mean Na'Vi will be aware. But still, it's good progress and good pressure to put on for Na'Vi. Secret still tempted to go for this blue push. Na'Vi have some good positions, but Prano drones out the player in Harry Potter. Packball as well to drone forward. Saves actually gets aggressive around blue. And it's really going to come down to flushing out some of these strong positions. Players like Saves could do so much damage if they're not addressed.
He could find himself getting caught out here, just like Doki did, as Shate gets what is actually the first kill of the round onto him. We saw the X-Kairos be placed onto the walls, and as we head into the final 30 seconds, this is where Secret want to make their push. Another Candela comes forth, but Draven gets taken straight out from a blur that he didn't realize was there. Traded by Prano, which means Secret are still in a decent position to take this, but once again, time is ticking and it's running out. Oh. There's another down, another kill. It's Kendrew this time. Kendrew getting a 3K that we didn't see coming. The man who they say is so emotional has come back with a vengeance to secure that round so definitively for Na'Vi.
Well, I wouldn't want to be in the Secret comms when that happened. 4 versus 3 for the attackers, and it looked like their execute might swing their way, but Kendrew said, gadunk, gadunk, gadunk. And I think he's more surprised than anyone that he managed to get 3 kills with that TCSG at the end there.
I just think...
Lovely stuff.
The thing with Kendra, right, is, you know, he always had this reputation for being a player who in the last sliver of the round can clutch it out and can bring what the team needs. And it feels like it's been a while since we've really seen that, and it's nice to have a glimpse again.
Yeah, it's lovely. Player in the late rounds.
Heartwarming. Making
an impact. It's lovely. Yeah, credit to NaVi. They, I actually thought that Secret had the early advantage there, despite their, you know, quote-unquote rush attempts failing because of the aggression from, I believe it was Joe, who was picking some bullet holes from electrical, and also the gas from Doki to kind of push them out of blue early. Secret had baited out 2 gas canisters, actually 3 gas canisters relatively early, and 1 C4, which put them in a really good position when it came to the actual execute, when it came to the plant. But they did struggle with these late round aggressive anchors, wide swinging areas in which Secret would not expect. And that was something NaVi seemed to be quite good at, and it is swinging these rounds their way. They've got a 3-1 lead here, which is quite an advantage. Yes, they are on defense, but let's remember here the context of this game, which is that NaVi have been crapping the bed. Let's be honest, this stage thus far, the roster changes haven't seemed to be what they needed. They've had you know, rumored internal issues, which have really made them struggle to cop wins, to play well and get team chemistry working. And Secret have been the dead set opposite of that. This is the team whose roster changes look to have changed everything for them in a positive way.
I think Joe is someone I'm really watching out for here, because he obviously has to hold control of showers, and can he prevent it being opened? Well, he can with the first impact. Obviously, there will still be more X-Kairos in pocket as they also come out onto the wall, and once again, it works out. All right, that's good. I was kind of concerned that maybe if he couldn't make the impact trick work, showers control would be taken very early by Team Secret and give them a commanding lead.
Yeah, look at how much hard breach we still got. We got single X-Kairos left from Hive and 2 more Ace Selmas from Packball. It's a dirty, dirty angle from Blur. Needs to be careful. He's not droned out, though. They just spot him. He doesn't get that drone, so still allowed to stay alive. Eventually taken down. He's in such an aggressive position. Needs to be careful. But Joe, once again... Oh, Draven's having such a bad day right now, but Dro cops his first kill of the round. And once again, NaVi getting very aggressive from these anchor positions. The
smoke will actually obscure Blur's vision, but it does hold back Secret, which is arguably more important. Hive obviously up in office, trying to get an angle in through the floor, but so far Secret haven't been able to find just about anything. Gonna have to start moving forward very soon, as they always have one person keeping an eye through the floor. We know that Blur is playing very aggressively in there. He's right here behind the couches or table or whatever it is you want to call, just trying to hold on to the angle through the breach. But does he know that someone's right by the door?
Spotted again, but he's shooting all these drones. Pre-fire comes through. Blur, low HP, but still alive. And Kendra, that's exactly the support your teammate needed. A gas forces Shate off the peak. Now, Showers has been breached, but Joe's still alive. Not for much longer. Blur's going to go for a wide swing, and he finds another. 2 kills on the round, and Secret reeling in a 2 versus 4.
Taking in the time to reload before the last remaining members of Team Secret move forward, as that final gas does come out from NaVi. 30 seconds remaining, and Prano's just peeking. He's looking, but he gets caught out by Blur with another kill to his name. Can he make it a 4K, as Hype is the only one still standing? No. In fact, it turns around and he gets killed by him. But Hype doesn't last much longer. NaVi, looking like a different team today, take their 4th round.
Hey, that's pretty good. And credit over to Blur for stepping it up hugely, peaking aggressive on dining. It's something that Secret struggled to deal with time and time again, is these aggressive anchors from NaVi. And I feel like that's a pattern trending here, and Secret have to be really careful because this lead has slanted way against them. A 4-1 half. Yes, they're on the attack, but they need to really be careful here not to let this lead slip too far. If they're looking at a 5-1 half, that means they will have to go flawless on their defense in order to cop the 3 points and the victory at the end of today. Otherwise, they're staring at a draw or potentially even a loss, which would be honestly shocking for Secret after a flawless EUL Stage 2 thus far. You know, they've beat Rogue, G2, Chaos, Vitality, and now coming into NaVi, and it's only going to get more difficult in the subsequent playdays against BDS and Virtus Pro.
Secret obviously have some room to play with. In stage 2 so far, they are only sitting behind BDS in the standings. But the thing is, when NaVi have been struggling so much recently, you don't want to let a loss slip through to them because you have to go up against some of these more challenging opponents in the very near future. You want to take as many wins as you can get before that happens. And obviously, we've seen so much good from Team Secret recently. Now, obviously, the next half is still yet to happen, and as we've mentioned, NaVi have been struggling on their attack, so you never know what's going to happen there. But obviously, we're on round 6 now. Team Secret have one more opportunity to bring this to a 4-2.
Funny decision here from NaVi. I like the gusto in which they've decided to make this work, but going to meeting and kitchen instead of back to laundry supply, or rather dorms, which would still be unlocked for them as it's been 2 rounds since they successfully defended that. And it shows that NaVi are playing with a lot of confidence here. They're going to what for most teams is a tertiary or even a 4th choice bomb site, and they're choosing it here over dorms. And I like that. I think it's a decision based on the fact that dorms is the only bomb site they've lost this game so far, and they think that they might not be able to repeat that successful defense. But we'll see how this meeting defense turns out, because Secret have made some good progress with small tower and big tower and attic control.
Obviously, this is one of those sites where sometimes you can just walk straight in and take it incredibly quickly, but it looks like that isn't going to be the case here, as NaVi still have players off-site that are going to have to be dealt with by Team Secret, and that's why, obviously, getting attic control is so huge. Blur just trying to get some shots through a little peek hole that he's made for himself in the trophy wall. Won't catch anything just yet, but there's still that opportunity.
Yeah, trying to clear out this Electroclaw. I'm not sure personally. Yeah, there's still ooh, there's a couple shots in the toesies of saves. Managed to just dodge it, but still he's being droned out. Thankfully for him, though, the meeting wall into Big Tower has not been breached as of yet. Prano's looking to pressure from below. They need to clear out that Electroclaw. It's now been pinged out, but they're struggling to shoot it, and that's really going to make the difference here. Draven finally gets it, and with 1 minute still on the clock, Packball has finally breached open the meeting walls.
Yeah, you finally breached open the meeting walls, and now you've got 5 players you have to deal with. In goes the nade. Did it get them a Lucy Wub Wub? Well, they had it ping. They've got another one right next to them as well. There's really starting to become this point where it's limited time. It's a 5 versus 5. No one's had that first pick yet, although as I say that, it's a knife kill from a Hive. Great, but Joe comes back with a 2k. That's a great position. The NaVi still find themselves in the man disadvantage. A Secret now have the opportunity to aggress in. They have to fear these 2 players, Joe and Doki. But when they could get crossfires and organize it in a way that they catch them out, it makes it so much more dangerous. The plant's going to be going down. Can Doki actually get this kill? No! The plant does go down, and now Shate begins to clean things up as NaVi are thrust into a post-plant situation. It's only Doki remaining, and he has barely any health. Team Secret make it a 4-2 at the half. That scoreline they were desperately looking for.
A great attack in the final execute from Team Secret. It looked sketchy for a moment with, who was it, Hive just sprinted past the angle being watched from Kitchen and knifed Kendrew. He knifed a shotgun player holding an angle. That is just ridiculous. But the fact that Secret managed to convert, in particular, that 3 versus 2 to a 3 versus 0, very well played. Very narrow margin, though, for Doki. I thought that C4 was going to deny the plant, and that may have made all the difference. But thankfully, Secret managed to round out that half with 2 attack wins. And moving on to their defense, this is where I start to be concerned for actually NaVi. Yes, they have a formidable lead thanks to a strong defensive half, but we've talked about how NaVi have struggled on their attack. What was it you said? They've only won 7 attacks so far in this stage?
Not even 7. You're giving them too much credit.
That is 4 maps in, right?
Yes.
4 maps in. Each map, well, I can actually figure out how many rounds total they have played, but man, 5 attack wins over that many rounds is just insane. 12, 24, 36 plus 8. What's 36 plus 8? 44? Yeah, there you go. That's how many rounds they've played this stage. 44 rounds, only 5 of them been attack wins. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's not great.
That also can't be true because I'm looking at the games right now. They run. Oh, no, never mind. I'm crazy.
Do you know, they
look,
always
Dev,
say don't do maths on broadcast.
Don't do maths at 7 a.m. when you've been casting all night.
That's true. Yeah, maths at 7 a.m. That takes me back to my university days. But either way, the point is NaVi have had a really tough time on attack so far. Now they're coming into it. They've had good momentum in the first half here. The question is, can they continue that forward, especially after quite a devastating loss in the last round? Great for Team Secret, but obviously NaVi, they're going to be looking to continue that forward because they're really going to need it on this side.
It was highlighted in the pre-show desk, actually. Oh, what's that?
Ow.
Prano just goes and kills saves. All right, random as roam. Just running around upstairs on the middle floor, I guess. And I don't know, that's really strange. Usually attackers would clear from this west side. I didn't manage to catch where the drones were from NaVi, but Doki's playing catch-up right now, and the roamer is allowed to run rampant.
Yeah, and that's the worrying thing as well, because you know, obviously you ran the risk that if Doki had got there slightly sooner and he had got killed in that altercation, then you would have lost your ex-Kairos, so maybe not the best situation for NaVi. And Kendrew's obviously droning just to ensure there's no other roamers elsewhere. It's actually only 4 players on site, and that's Prano all the way up on the tower stairs, who's ready and waiting for any players from NaVi who may be waiting to come on up. It looks like Joe's not far away. Is he going to get caught out? Oh, he's going to drone instead. I was holding my breath.
I wouldn't hold your breath. Prano's playing quite patiently. Just waiting, biding his time. He knows there's no rush right now. He got a kill in the first 45 seconds of the round, and since then he's been an unaddressed roamer. It is an easy flank. Ironic, isn't it, that the Nomad falls victim to a flank, but now he'll be chased. He knows it's just a matter of time. All he needs to do is just delay, but he gets a third. What is this? Absolutely disgusting behavior from the man. And NaVi looking to pick up a 2 versus 5, but Prano doesn't even want to give him a shot in it.
Prano, arguably the most consistent player in EUL right now. He sits just behind Shaiko and Renshiro for KD. Well, actually, he's second for KD. He sits just behind Shaiko and Renshiro for rating. Either way, he's doing incredibly well as he continues to prove in this round as Kendrew throws in the nades, knowing that there's so much more responsibility onto him. Kill onto Prano. That gets rid of that threat, but it might be too late for NaVi still as Draven just returns to the site. Blur.
Fantastic site positions here.
Absolutely. Blur and Kendrew trying to work so hard together, but they know that the pressure's on them. They've got to aggress, and that's a beautiful C4 with Packball finishing things off. And Team Secret take their first defensive round.
And a convincing one at that, Gio. Not only because of that 3K there from Prano on the solo roam, which honestly, like, it gives me vibes of that Vitality G2 game where I think it was Citizen. I think it was on a Malusi as well. He just ran around and like got 3 kills, just found 3 1v1s and completely unaddressed. So a bit lax on the roam clear there from NaVi. Absolutely punished. And that's the kind of thing that's not going to happen again, right? Prano's probably not going to go for that again, and rightly so. He'll probably be punished. I would hope so. And NaVi now much more keyed into that. But what I will say is, even if that was a 5v5 execute, I still reckon Secret would have had a damn good shot of it. Packball had a really good side position. Hive managed to deny the plant with C4 at the end. He was playing the mirror. Draven also would have had a C4 on the mirror. Had Prano survived, he likely would have had a C4 as well. Packball probably, actually no, Packball was on the mute that round, so he would have had a C4 as well. So many C4s ready for plants. On top of that, there was a great shield near the rotate hole between the 2 bomb sites in supply, so that you would have survived any just wide swing trying to suppress these anchors who are throwing C4s. Overall, really good site setup from Secret. Not that they needed it at the end, and it puts me in good vibes for the rest of their defense.
Good vibes. I mean, it's always a good place to be. Probably not where NaVi are feeling right now. Obviously, knowing that Prano was able to get away with so much in that last round, that's going to be a sting because Saze was so close. He knew that he was there. He didn't win out the 1 versus 1, but then NaVi obviously didn't have anybody else dealing with Prano. You know, you send the Nomad nearby. He sits close by to just sit and drone. You don't actually find what you're looking for before you're killed. And then obviously Doki turns around. He's like, okay, something's happened here. Let's have a look. Let's see what it was. Oh no, I'm dead as well. So that's a problem that NaVi really have to avoid next time. They've got to make sure that if there is a roam clear to be had, it needs to be thorough.
Something I wonder for this here Dorm's bomb site. How's the wall breaching and wall denial minigame going to play out? We criticize NaVi on their attacks, or defenses rather, how much they struggle with that impact trick. What's the play here from Hive? And impact actually goes out after the first third of the Selma detonates. No, actually, wait, there you go. The first one exploded, and then he threw it through the hole. So he's actually letting the first breach come through. Oh, Joe, what a good position there. Takes down Hive, a bit lax. And now we should be able to see this breach successful. And the wall should be fully opened up, but I wonder whether Hive could get res.
Yeah, he's got to go through the rotate if he even hopes to get there, but it looks like he's getting stuck and he might get caught out in the line of sight again. And it's Packball and okay,
oh
Joe.
God.
Hello, I see you. He's on fire this round so far. Team Secret suddenly find themselves at a distinct disadvantage. You have your Valkyrie down below with a C4 in hand, so that could be used to punish in return. But NaVi are just taking the opportunity to push on in as Saves burns out the utility that is present in dorms with the Sophia, and Doki obviously not far away either. Oh, Draven, goodbye, good night. And now only the Valkyrie remains, pulling up white stairs just to see what you can do on your own. You can't get the shot. Joe finishes off the flawless round for NaVi.
Yeah, what? What? I have no idea. Just the drop shot hip fire at the end of it too? All right, I see you, NaVi. I see that attack. I don't know what it was, but hey, they managed to successfully counter that attempted impact trick from Hive thanks to, well, a good peek from Joe from the trophy door, and Hive just not quite being aware of what angles he was exposed to. Yes, Hive managed to actually get away and survive, but Joe was just like, yeah, no, all good. I'm going to rotate over the big window. I'm going to finish off Hive, and I'm going to get Packball as well. From that point on, it was a 5v3, 5v2 rather. No, it was a 5v3 at that point. Don't do maths at 7 a.m. in the morning, James. And NaVi just collapsed. They won every single 1v1. We had Kendrew pushing up through Attic. He won his fight. And the Avalanche just kept on doing its thing, rolling down that hill.
It toppled and toppled. And actually, that was really great and really encouraging, I think, for NaVi, because, again, you're looking at these players who you have so many hopes for, Joe and Doki. Doki being a player who, as was mentioned on the pre-game desk, is kind of infamous for inconsistencies. And if he's on, he's on. If he's off, he's off. And today, it looks like he's on. And that could be it for NaVi. You know, that could be the answer to what they need. Just that extra push coming from that one player who gets them in the zone. Evidently, they're feeling themselves a lot more today. Can they repeat it as they return to the same site?
I feel like it was just a few little things that Secret need to fix and they can win this bomb site. Firstly, maybe a bit more aggressive impact trick rather than waiting for that first Selma to detonate before trying to impact trick it. Actually impact tricking through the floor onto that fan I think would be more successful. One Selma already thrown out from Blur. Didn't manage to see how much it breached. Yeah, indeed, just the first breach, so it looks like Hive is playing this very much the same way he did last time. And I expect he still has one impact left, but of course with Ace having 3 Selmas, there you go, 1 impact left, and just C4s, no other impacts on the rest of the squad. So it's basically inevitable here that that breach should be open, but Prano, all right, aggressive pick onto Joe, player who stepped up, that should definitely help out.
Absolutely. I mean, that was... Yeah, that's going to be monumentally frustrating for NaVi. One thing that I'm also wondering here is obviously you don't see much roam clear happening and you've got Chateau. Okay. But
He takes that in the bloody face.
Yeah, he took a lot of damage for that. And he just looks like a dog with his tail between his legs just limping away now as he sends in the drone through trophy. He says, I'm not trying that again. But, you know, obviously last time they knew Shate was downstairs. He didn't have much of an impact at the end of the round, but this time you've also got Prano elsewhere too. I'm wondering, are NaVi going to put much into them, or are they just going to try and do the same thing as before?
Oh, Draven finds that pick onto saves. Kendra was being live droned upwards. He didn't realize it, but that timing was such in his favor. Now things have swung back around. Nade in through Kid's Dorm's window. Surely the push is successful here, but the perfect operator on the other end is Packbull. Throws out his second gas, and it looks like NaVi abandoned this position. Prano still unaddressed on the roam. Shate still unaddressed on the roam. And it looks like NaVi are clawing to find some kind of in here, but I don't think there's an opportunity for them to have it. I don't even think there's a proper... No, they do have a breach. They can walk in through closet, but it'll have to be explosive. It'll have to happen now.
It's also monumentally scary, of course, because Secret still have attic control, so they could just peek out and get what they need. Kendra opens things up, but immediately traded by Packball, and that's going to be a down there for Doki as well, as Shate catches him jumping in through the window. Now it's just Blur remaining, the player who took so much damage from the impact, and he's just got to try and spray in what he can. Gets caught out, as Secret use his own breach against him. The Secret take round number 9.
I really like that, and I'm actually curious whether that early pick, we talked about how impactful it was onto Joe, of course, the player who's been stepping up with several multi-kills thus far this game's also topping the KD by a significant margin on his team. That's early run out from Prano, and yes, we credit Prano, but I do wonder, you know, Shate, he played that Valkyrie. We saw some really nifty Valkyrie cameras on NaVi's own defense, specifically on that bomb site, that one that was on the big tower itself, and it would have definitely assisted, or some other similar camera, which I expect was thrown from Shate, would have assisted and enabled that kill from Prano. So as much as I want to praise Prano for a great run out, I think we need to also praise Shate there. Now that is just a guess, but I've got to assume there was a Valkyrie cam outside.
Well, either way, Secret are getting closer and closer to closing that gap between themselves and NaVi, and the lead that NaVi have been relying upon this time so far is dwindling. Now, Team Secret are basically doing exactly what NaVi did on their first half, which is returning back to Laundry on the 4th round of their defense. Now, this was a site that Team Secret did win back in round number 7.
I remember Prano got a solo roam 3K just running around, completely unaddressed. There was a bit of a miscommunication from NaVi about where they were droning from, because they had a player enter from the lobby side and take up an aggressive position watching the bottom white stairs, but there wasn't like a successful west side clear, which is what's most common for teams these days, and that enabled that solo roam from Prano. This time he's actually opted to play on a much more passive position. He's playing the smoke, which is, I think, a great operator choice here. I praised Secret's site presence in the previous round when it came down to that eventual execute from NaVi, and I praised the util they had prepared. Secret actually still have a mirror in the pocket here. That's Hype. He's going to put that up on the electrical wall. And honestly, this blue take should be nigh impossible for NaVi. Secret have everything going for them here.
Well, this is where it's all going to start, and we're going to see if Secret do indeed make it all work for them, or if NaVi can force themselves through. As you mentioned, the mirror is obviously being played, so that's another problem NaVi have to deal with, and they're just going to collect what information they can before they make any decision to engage.
There is no util whatsoever from... oh, there you go. There was no Kaid, so they could open the hatch vertically. Lovely stuff. Perfect counter. I was going to say there's no util to counter that mirror head on, so I like that problem solving from NaVi. Like, okay, let's just take meeting, open up the hatch above, and pop it, nullify that position. Great stuff. And now NaVi will have to turn their attention to elbow, in which we see, I believe, Prano playing as the smoke. He also has a shield. Indeed, and an ADS. Draven also there to support. Now that second ADS has been burned. Prano backs on out, and Nade comes through, burns that Goyo, but they don't Rio it off. Instead, there's another shield to play behind. The saves drones that out.
Yeah, as you say, they know it's there, and obviously with control here over box, it makes it easier for them to move in through. Over the half of the round has been chugged away as the second nade from Kendrew comes straight out, and Hive is deciding to get aggressive, but it doesn't pay off. Doki was ready and waiting, and now he just has to place the X-Gyrus on this next mirror window, and that's going to make it easier for them to hold control of supply once they get it. Prano! Disgusting shot onto Blur, and that's the diffuser drop, so another issue that NaVi have to deal with. A second goodbye Kendrew, and now suddenly only 2 players from NaVi remain. Everything looked like they could have gained control of this site, and now it's all falling apart in tatters in their fingertips. Prano's still out there in elbow, except Joe finally gets the kill, making a second. Can he just do this by brute force? Doki adding on.
What?
NaVi, who looked like they were in such a disadvantageous position, rake it back in.
There was absolutely no right for NaVi to win that round, but Doki and Joe, between them a full house, a 3-piece for Doki, 2-piece for Joe. And NaVi, an incredible summation of gun skill at the end of it to close out that. Great mechanics, great positioning, the aggression from Joe, no need to reload. Really nice stuff, and a credit as well to Prano for getting those 2 kills in elbow, but at the end of it, it didn't make a difference. Doki using that hallway angle from pillar, pushing aggressive in tandem with Joe, pushing through the bomb site with the AK. 40 rounds in the magazine, no need to reload. It was exactly what NaVi needed. And crazy to think that that is the round that NaVi takes match points.
I don't know if you can tell, but that genuinely took me by surprise. that whole sequence of events. Oh man, and as you say, now NaVi find themselves on match point against the team who are sitting second in the standings for this half. Secret are currently in the top 4 overall of Season 1 of EUL. That's a position that NaVi feel like is theirs. They missed out on it so narrowly in the last stage, and they've obviously come to struggle. And now in this game, where they've just looked a lot more like one cohesive unit than they have recently, it could be where the momentum starts to swing.
You know it's bad when Secret decide on the back of that, guys, just don't worry about laundry. We lost that. Let's just go dining. Well, we're completely bewildered about what happened just then. The fact that NaVi pulled that out of nothing. We're going to completely change tack and go to dining. Now, this is the first time this map that Secret have brought us to this objective. They are not forced here. They could be going laundry. They've elected to choose this objective, despite them already winning laundry once this game. And it all comes down to here. How confident are they on this defense? That showers hold. Not successful in destroying that first bit of util. Another impact grenade will surely clear out this X-Kairos. There you go. And Prano will have to do the impact tricking from now on. Oh, but he gets pushed off. Is the impact trick successful? I think he just barely saves the mirror. He's going to have to get it one more time. Oh, but he doesn't manage to cop it fully. And the mirror will be open. 2 minutes still on the clock, and NaVi have made great ground.
Well, they still have to remove the Maestro, and of course the shield and the ADSs that are there protecting him. So not everything is in NaVi's hands just yet, but obviously getting the mirror window open was a huge boon to them. And there, of course, is the ADS beginning to be burnt out as Kendrew starts to open up the office floor from above, so they can get ready to hold the vertical angles down into the site and support the rest of their team.
Kendrew looking to nade Prano, but surely he's got ADSs to protect him. Have they burnt him yet? There goes the shield. There goes the player. Kendrew's taken that ground, but Blur was taken out in the meanwhile, and his smokes die with him.
You can see Team Secret have just moved back so they can hold these longer angles. Where Hype is playing right now is somewhere that we've seen a lot of work be done by various teams in the past as an attacking team begins to move into the site. Obviously, NaVi very aware that there's still 4 players they have to go against, but at some point they will have to move in to get the plant down, to work the objective. If they don't clear them out, that's a very precarious place to be. They have just about a minute remaining, so it's not a complete pressurized disaster just yet. And Joe's going to go in for the plant. This is where the team have to get aggressive if they are to protect him. There's a near miss. Kendrew's getting very aggressive as he pushes up towards Kitchen, and the plant is down. Secret now find themselves in a post-plant situation. There's a C4, but Hype notices no one is around the corner, and he's going to have to pick that one back up if he wants to use it. Oh my god, that was a really free kill right onto Kendrew, who could have caught him out. Hype falls into the air jab, but doesn't go down in that moment. Now it's a 3 versus 4 in Secret's favor, and there's another air jab going off. Packball's going to be the next one to fall as Joe collects that kill, but Doki as well. It's a backwards and forwards as Hype is traded out. NaVi are so close to securing themselves this win. If Joe can be brought up, saves. He's still alive, but as you say, there's no time. Secret can't do it, and NaVi, they take their win against one of the best teams in the region so far.
An unbelievable close for NaVi after such a troubled half here in the EUL. Coming into stage 2, it looked like they were, well, we used all kinds of adjectives to describe it. NaVi certainly were not at the top of their game, but once again, Doki steps up massive, a huge round in the penultimate round of that game from him as well as Joe. NaVi closed it out, a 7-4. I think that's an upset to all of our predictions. And